Mike Hose with Stand Up for All Kids here. Happy New Year 2021. Last year I did a couple shows, Stand Up for All Kids, sharing some health concepts. And this year I decided each month I'm going to do a different topic and kind of share, some different health options for you guys and what we have found. So this month, the topic is food sensitivities, and I'll be sharing some test results of myself and kind of how I got exposed to it. And then I've asked somebody to join us, and then I'll share a couple other test results and some other things, and then some info in case you want to reach out to me and learn more information about it. So I'm going to screen share and go ahead and share some stuff with you guys. I put together a little PowerPoint. And let me get this going here. So, all right, let's get back to the start. So Stand Up for All Kids, like I said, January, we're gonna be talking about food sensitivities. Back in 2013, I was dealing with some health issues, high blood pressure, chronic pain, inflammation, mental clarity issues. They call it kind of brain fog, headaches, heart palpitations, just never really felt that great. Came across some info about IgG food sensitivity testing. I had it. You can see basically if it checks for 96 different foods. If it's really low, it'd be in the green section here, which means you're not really having any reaction to the food. If it's yellow, you want to be cautious, maybe cut back on that food. And then if it's into the red, you really want to avoid it. So looking at my dairy, my casein, my whey protein, my yogurt, anything to do with dairy, except for like cheese, I seem to tolerate cheese a little better than I do any of the milk products, the yogurt products, or the whey protein products. So can cause a lot of different symptoms that I'll get into later, but that's how I got exposed, went through, experienced the changes, and then that's when I decided to become a lean health coach. And then I started Stand Up for All Kids and started helping other people. So I also, a lot of people think that maybe you can change these. And, I think you can build up an intolerance or lose an intolerance to food, depending upon what's going on, certain things, if you were on antibiotics, depending on your diet. But you can see I was retested in 2020 and still dairy across the board. So everything I've been doing with changing my lifestyle in 7 years, I'm still don't do well with dairy. And if I do consume too much of it, I notice I'll get some IBS symptoms, I'll get congestion, maybe even have some joint pain and headaches. So I just really avoid it. I know now that it just doesn't do me any good. So gluten, in the yellow, so I try to avoid it, maybe quinoa and other things. But that was my experience. That was my testing. And I'm going to see, I've asked Tammy Craig to join us. She had the testing in 2018. I wanted her to share her experience and then her daughter's. So let me see if I could get her on with us. Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, I think you're sideways. I don't know if, yeah, that's better.
Okay.
So yeah, I just went over and kind of explained my test results, and then I was going to go and see if you would share a little bit about your test results that you had 2018. That you did the food sensitivity test, and you found that maybe some eggs and dairy was reacting with you, and then I think you went through the Shred 10 and you eliminated some of those. And maybe you could just share real quick what you experienced with the testing and with maybe eliminating food.
So I feel like with the testing, it was very simple. It was very easy to do, even do for myself and my kids. It didn't take me a lot of time. And, what I really loved about the testing was the fact that it brought awareness to me as an individual, and it was so unique to just me, and it placed the responsibility of my eating habits back onto me. So I could see for myself what does and doesn't work for my body. And then I attempted the Shred 10, which was quite a challenge, trying to eliminate all the sugar, caffeine, dairy, gluten, eggs, and so forth. It was difficult, but it was very rewarding as a result of it. Once I got through those 10 days and I was able to detox from all that, I really realized, quite a bit how much stuff does impact me as I incorporate it back into my diet. And there's just such an empowering moment there to realize that, you are responsible and you are capable of making these changes that are better for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I just always couldn't figure out what was maybe causing some of my like congestion or just feeling a little bogged down. Then with me finding those results, I've just definitely felt better. And then you're so Stand Up for All Kids. I help kids every year with the testing, and you learned about it through doing the testing yourself. And then your daughter was picked in 2019, and we found high dairy sensitivities, eggs. We also found some peanuts, which I think you knew. Maybe you can share some about that. But gluten and some grains, which are probably the most common ones that I find. But maybe you could share a little bit about Cecilia's experience.
So with Cecilia, it was a little bit more of a desperate approach because we had gotten some feedback from her doctor in regards to her peanut allergy, her asthma, and so forth. And all the medicine that she was taking currently at the time, he was suggesting that she should be dead by now due to the fact that she was overcompensating with the medicine just to try to keep up, just with the daily activities she was doing. So I desperately was looking for an answer, and thank goodness you came to us, and we were able to do the testing on her and then get her onto the Juice Plus gummies, which were great. And we went back but 6 months later, and he's like, what are you doing? It's whatever you're doing is working. So she did the testing. I did it on her, easy peasy, no big deal. I did both tests myself on her, but yeah, I was actually shocked at her results. I mean, she looked terrible with the foods that she was eating. So we kind of went through an overhaul and just started incorporating different ideas into our diet to where we no longer even have cow's milk in our home and haven't had it ever since we started this process. Now we have our tastes have now adjusted to having almond milk in our home or soy milk. And, even going to dairy-free ice cream, we've, tried out multiple different types. We found one that works for her. She loves ice cream, so we don't want to get rid of that for her. But even our pasta now is all gluten-free pasta. So this testing and awareness really did provide us to be consciously present with what we're putting into our bodies, that we are responsible for ourselves. So if we want to feel better, then we need to start doing things ourselves. And, we can always reach out to the mass general idea saying, well, this doesn't work for this person, so that means it doesn't work for me, or vice versa. That's not true. We're also unique and individual and different. And that's what's really cool about this test, because it's specific to you. So we were able to make some big changes for Cecilia, and honestly, she's never felt better. She's been awesome ever since.
Yeah, and that's great to hear, and that's why I keep doing it. And I appreciate you being willing and open, and Cecilia, to sharing your test results and helping more kids. Because come January 11th, we'll be picking 4 more kids to get the testing, and just by you guys sharing really helps them to feel a little more confident, that see somebody else's experience along with the other kids, and, the 4 kids that you've been able to help too through your nonprofit. So really appreciate you taking the time and sharing. And I'm going to go ahead and share some other results. So enjoy your weekend. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, take care. All right, so I'm going to go on and share a couple more results with you guys. So that was Cecilia's results, and just seeing that she changed some of the stuff in her diet, cutting back on some of the foods that might be causing her high antibody inflammation responses. So Shane Corp, he's another kid that I was able to help. He had the testing a year before Cecilia, 2018, and just going to share, he was just dealing with, I guess, and I didn't know at the time, but some headaches, just a typical kid getting sick, more frequently than maybe we all wish. Maybe mental clarity not as clear as it could be, but you sometimes don't ever know it unless you make changes and then you experience the positive changes. So, I mean, I can't say that I really knew that I had brain fog until I really took away dairy and started making the other changes. I added the Juice Plus 2, and then I that's just a nutritional product. And I definitely can tell that my mental clarity is so much better. So Shane, like I said, at the testing, he was pretty much similar to me, just dairy. So you can see he was doing whey protein. He's an athlete, BMX racer. And when I met him, he was a really good athlete to start with, but we took away the whey protein. We put him on a plant-based protein. We also put him on plant-based milks, alternatives. And he started to notice huge changes with his diet. And then he ended up winning state for BMX in 2018 and 2019. So, if I can just help, these kids or other people just feel a little bit better, then of course their performance is going to be better. Now, this is a friend of mine, Sandy Mudgett. She was dealing with some, I guess, what she calls silent acid reflux. So she was just dealing with, maybe some digestive issues and not really figuring out what was going on. So she heard about the testing, and then she did the testing in the fall of 2018. And as you can see, Sandy's results were high to dairy. So almost always, it is the most common. She had some stuff with eggs. And then, we just kind of worked on the diet based on her results. So really it's her own body that's telling her what to kind of maybe cut back on. And then I usually just help people with options. So, and then I'll get into a little bit of the research, some of the resources that's starting to now circulate. So this was an article that was back in 2016, and I have it. It was a good one talking about some of the celebrities that had the testing. And I had the testing in 2013. This came out in 2016, started to become a little more popular. And you can see talking about no gluten, no lactose, no sugar, and other things that you could be, having a trigger to. But dairy and gluten, by far, probably the two most common. A more recent article in a magazine put out from the Mayo Clinic in I think it was August of 2020, and I read it. You can see the top one says, "What to eat for healthy digestion." So it goes on and it really talks about dairy. It has a really kind of thorough article about dairy, but then it also talks about gluten, talks about caffeine, like coffee. So even for me, I don't do very well with coffee. So since I've cut out the coffee, which I know a lot of people are like, man, I don't want to give up my coffee, but if you do give it up and you feel better, well, then maybe you can find some other things. So maybe just smoothies in the morning instead of your coffee, getting nutrition in your body might give you more sustainable energy than that burst of caffeine that you're going to get. So a program that I typically have for people, especially ones that can't do the testing, it's going to really just help people switch out food ideas. So any kids that maybe they would love or they didn't get picked for the testing, they have this option of Shred 10. And the reason why I chose it is because when you look at the guidelines and if you read all the information coming out from the Mayo Clinic, the functional department at the Cleveland Clinic, a lot of the stuff that they share, Dr. Sears that I'm certified under as a lean health coach, really talks about giving up dairy and gluten. So the Shred 10, couple key factors is eating more whole foods, but eliminating the dairy and the gluten and then seeing how you feel. It also has you give up like sugar and refined type sugars, anything artificial. Really try to stick to like whole foods like apples and fruits and vegetables and anything that doesn't have a label because it's just whole foods. And trying to drink enough water, exercise, and get enough sleep. So it's a program that everybody can do. And the reason why I keep kind of doing the Stand Up For All Kids is because I've been doing it now 5 years. And I can honestly tell you that, the kids that have gotten the testing, they have improved their health significantly. So it's just, maybe we can't fix everything, but if we can improve the quality of life or the quality of health of these kids, they typically feel better. They smile. I always like to joke around. I like to see the kids laughing. I like to see them out there moving around and exercising and just living life like we're all supposed to. So really making a big impact on asthma, ADHD, worked with a few kids with even autism, digestive stuff, you name it, already been exposed to it. So just wanted to share this information with you. I'll be picking, like I said, 4 more kids come January 11th. Every year we'll be helping as many kids as we can. And just wanted to share it with you. Now, if you have any questions, or if you really want more information, I wanted to share my contact information. Typically, I'm only available after 5 o'clock during the week or on the weekends. So if you send me an email and it's during the week and I don't get back to you for a couple of days, it's just because, you know, I'm just a little bit busy, but I will respond back to you when I have time. So my email is naturalistichealthoptions@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at Stand Up for All Kids, and you'll see some of the other TV shows. I'll be posting the links where we share what we're finding. We'll be sharing just, you know, typical health related, maybe the test results of others that have agreed to share. And it's really just about trying to help other people get information. So hope you guys all have a great new year. Next month, I think I'm going to talk about hair mineral analysis. So that's another test that the kids get, any of the kids picked. So we're going to talk about your nutritional balances and a test that's been around for 30 some years that I myself had in 2014. And then I made changes, and then I seen the positive results. So not only did I feel it, but I felt it. So I'll be talking about hair mineral analysis testing, and we'll be talking about different minerals and how it affects your health, and maybe if you're low on something and how you can increase it, and what maybe I experience and other people experience, and maybe what you can experience from just finding a better balanced diet. So everybody, happy new year. Stay healthy out there. I know we're dealing with the COVID-19, the pandemic. I know a lot of people are thinking about their health. So hopefully this information that I'll be sharing every month will help you guys. Take care.